Doosra Point, hosted by Paris and Mosul.
Pakistan win the World Cup. India lift the World Cup. That's a big six.
3, 2, 1, and we're live, Mr. Pasha. Long time, tough week.
Yes, it's been a tough week. Just to start, I guess, a moment for Khurram Ibrahim. He was a dear friend of ours who passed away tragically in a car accident. Probably the biggest cricket fan I have known. I thought I was a huge fan, but Khurram, took it to another level. Of course, he had his own show as well. On TV, on TV1, and he had recently moved to ARY. So quite popular character, very popular, of course, amongst friends. I played cricket with him every Saturday. Huge loss. It's still very fresh. I still can't believe it. So he'll be terribly missed. And his passion and love for the game will terribly be missed. So just quite a few hard days in store for all of us as we sort of try to get over this loss.
Yeah, I met the guy twice or thrice, and he had such a big impact on me, especially in Houston when you're away from home. He was cricket to me, the guy arranging everything, gregarious, doing a show, inspiration for us, that it doesn't matter if you're in Pakistan or not. He was being a true representation of cricket here in Houston. Knew everyone, had a huge impact, live wire, and a tragic loss indeed. But I'm sure wherever he is, he's still partying it up.
Yeah, I hope he's, inshallah, he's in a better place. Let's put it that way.
Absolutely. Right. All right, man. Australia versus Pakistan. How often does it happen? Pakistan puts up a shitty show and then backs it up with a decent performance.
Yeah, to be honest, it was quite one-sided, both tests. Of course, the first test we should have won. It was quite surprising that fifth day ki pitch pe, Khwaja was was a fort literally, and we couldn't get him out. And they survived the test match. I had no expectations. When I woke up in the morning, I was half expecting the match to be over, and then I find out that they're still playing and they batted it out for a draw. So
I know we spoke a day before and we were thinking
no chance. I thought max it'd go till tea.
Yeah.
Maximum it goes till tea, and they would be done before tea. But again, it says you can't take anything for granted. I think maybe Sarfaraz also and the team maybe took it for granted a little bit. Sarfaraz ki captaincy pehले test match was very, very questionable. Yeah, not to have. Yeah, Mohammad Abbas, आपका जो अब even more so after he took 10 wickets in the second match, कि उसने 5वें दिन पे on the first hour he didn't even bowl. आप वहाब रियाज से bowling करा रहे थे. तो and the obviously scope of pressure एक बनाना होता है, and the field भी खुली, no pressure, no close in fielders, wrong bowling, to start with. And not bowling Mohammad Abbas for me for the first hour. He's been your best bowler in test matches for not just this series, for a while now.
Yeah.
It was quite surprising. So Faraz, I thought, is typically a pretty street smart sort of cricketer and would pick it up, but he's been a bit disappointing generally.
I agree. I think he's been very disappointing to me. He has that reputation that he's from Karachi, wicketkeeper, very, very chirpy and very street smart.
मुझे वो मियादाद जैसा याद आता है.
मगर वो sharpness captaincy में I think has kind of fizzled out. I don't know what is the reason. So whatever you said, I totally agree with that. Not bowling Abbas was a horrible decision. But adding to that, he was treating Tim Paine the way as if Tim Paine was world's best batsman. उसको इतनी easy single दे रहे थे when Australia was under pressure. उस वक्त भी था कि हमें 2-3 wickets चाहिए थी, but we were giving Tim Paine easy singles away to have a go at the non-striking end. And that didn't make any sense. Tim Paine is not Sachin Tendulkar, Virat Kohli, you want him off the strike and attack the other partner. So very defensive, We had a lot of runs on the board, so
It was never about the runs.
didn't see the need for him to be so defensive. So I think we threw that match away. We should have won.
We should have definitely won. I mean, that was. We I think after the match, it felt like Pakistan had actually lost and Australia had won when they, it's just true. I mean, we won pretty much every session. I would say, barring a few. But it was quite a big disappointment, I guess. But they bounced back pretty well. Or also, especially the second test match में भी फंस गया था. 57 for 5 हो गए थे.
Yeah.
But then, for a change, actually, Sarfaraz, batted for, more than an hour maybe.
Sarfaraz as a batsman played well.
No, he played well, yeah. Both 94 and 80
odd runs, yeah. As a batsman, he played well. And I think I have nothing against him as a lower order batsman. I think he's a handy batsman.
When he first came in, I mean, that's what he was known for, like that quick fire 40-50, and he would get the odd 100, and that tail, batting with the tail, he would, drive the score to a certain level. So that was what he was known for, but for the last year or two, he had missed that a bit, especially in test matches. He hadn't scored for a while.
Yeah.
And with the captaincy issues and pressures, to bounce back like that, it was impressive, I would say.
It was good. I think my advice, if he was listening, would be to actually just treat yourself as a low order batsman. Sometimes you put too much pressure on yourself, you try and come up the order. He's not the top order batsman.
I think we last talked about it during Asia Cup ke aap number 4 ya number nahi hai, number 3.
So stay where you are and aram se kare. I think Sarfaraz's bat captaincy kind of spilled over to the second test match. We won that because of sheer brilliance of Mohammad Abbas, and we'll talk about that later. But to have a debutant like Amir Hamza, to have him bowl one over and then take him off and bring Yasir Shah in, to me it didn't make any sense. If you wanted Yasir Shah to bowl with the new ball, he should have started. What was the point of having a guy who's making his debut already very nervy to have him bowl one over and then take him off? So that shows that he's trying things out in the middle instead of having a plan. And that's one thing that I don't think is going to work in a lot of situations. He doesn't seem to have a plan. He's just trying there and there.
Or he doesn't have a little bit more patience, maybe, I would say.
106 ball, man.
इतना hyper भी हो जाता है. Pressure में खुद भी आ जाता है. He puts pressure on the fielders as well. And becomes a bit too chirpy for my liking always.
Absolutely, 100%.
So yeah, I agree. I think he needs to be less reactive, more methodical probably. A strategy जो एक चीज़ होती है, जहाँ मिसबा बहुत ही strategic था कि वो अपनी strategy बस चली जा रही, he wouldn't really move or change plans, but his plans worked most of the times. यहाँ he's probably too not planned at all, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I think we need some. Look, he's a smart
somewhere
cricketer.
in the middle.
Someone needs to have a conversation. I don't think we can afford to sack him as the captain and bring someone else.
Of course not.
People are talking about Shoaib Malik. I don't agree with that. I think he should be your captain for the next World Cup. There's no other
for
way
sure.
out.
I think it's too late now to change. And I don't think Sarfraz is that bad. He needs to, obviously, one is leading from the front always matters, especially in Pakistan cricket. If you lead and you score and you make your contributions, and then, as a captain, you shine much better. You can control. Koi sawal nahi karega aapse. But when you're not scoring and captaincy bhi sahi nahi ho rahi, then obviously pressure builds up. And with the Asia Cup debacle, which was truly very, very disappointing, कि आप एक second string Bangladesh से, जीत नहीं पाए, you couldn't even reach the final. I mean, that was very disappointing. So that was pure bad planning, bad selection, bad captaincy. I mean, name all of the above, right? It was
you didn't get unlucky.
You didn't get unlucky. It was, for me, it was really about poor decision making to a great extent. And so after that, to bounce back, of course, Australia is also not the Australia of old, right? Australia, I couldn't name half the team.
Yeah, they've got some newbies in.
I mean, they had 2-3 debutants. Mitchell Marsh batting at high up the order. He's also another one of those characters. He's not a top order player, yaar.
Yeah, they're trying to make him into one, but he's not. He scored a century against
but he didn't
England.
score anything against us. But he's not a top order for me. But that also surprisingly tells me about what has happened to Australia is also sort of batting depth, because the Smith and Warner, दो players निकल गए हैं, and they have such a big gap. They've been losing, dropping down the rankings, losing all formats almost. So very surprising. So in Australia is also going through a very low. So this team, was one of the teams where you said, "Okay, hands down 2-0 test match would start on से पहले you were pretty sure, okay, you win this 2-0." If actually not winning 2-0 was a bit of a disappointment. Though it's surprising to see them as well. Even Stark was back and Siddle was back. On bowling फिर भी थी, but again on these tracks they just don't seem to click.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. That even last time when we played them here in UAE, our home ground,
we won.
They had full strength team, but we still won because foreign conditions for them. Just like we struggle in Australia, they struggle as much outside Australia. And if you were playing in Pakistan, it'd still be much better than playing in UAE because of the temperature. It's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
in high 40s. Even we were struggling with the temperature there. So I'm not surprised. I'm actually surprised that we didn't beat them 2-0.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah.
We should have. I mean, especially given the strength of the Australia squad this time round, this tour, was not up to usual Australian standards by any
First
means.
one we threw that. There's an ongoing joke that Mohammad Abbas took more wickets than Sean Marsh aggregate runs scored in the series. He's got 17 runs. And Sean Marsh has scored 14 runs in 4 innings or something.
Yeah, the Marsh brothers had a pretty hard time.
Very rough run.
But Mohammad Abbas, man, he line of length. आपको मुझे McGrath याद आता है जब आप उसकी bowling देखते हैं. मतलब first ball is like dead on off stump. Fourth stump pe ball.
Swinging and everything also, not just
pitching and seaming. So much control. It's refreshing to see not bowling 150, 145 Ks or something. Very line or length. Bus.
Yeah, what a pleasure it has been.
That's it. Line or length. That was all there is. Itna control.
And let me remind everyone, we were playing in UAE. We weren't playing in England or Australia or South Africa where we had any support from the track. There was nothing off the track. And the guy made it happen. 17 wickets against any side in 4 innings is just commendable. आपने Twitter पे response भी देखा, Michael Vaughan or
Dale Steyn. I mean, I was actually surprised that people have noticed that much. His bowling and it's not just us, commending him and seeing him play. Dale Steyn actually saying that, I see a new number 1 test bowler. It's a big deal, man. He's a legend on its own.
Because the thing is, these guys were following him when he was playing for Leicester.
Yeah, that's true.
And he put up a good show playing for Leicester also. He picked up 10 wickets for them also consistently, or at least 5 wickets.
That's what Michael Vaughan said, if he was bowling to me, he'd get me out
10 times already. Yeah. So he's accumulating some reputation for himself.
And some respect, man.
Also, very humble, yet very sharp. So जब वो Finch, you must have noticed कि बहुत आगे बढ़ के खेल रहा था to cut on the spin or something. तो उसने इस सरफराज को इसने कहा था कि यार why don't you just come up to keep, because I don't want him to be charging so much, and then he got him out.
That's true.
So he's a smart.
He's a thinking bowler as well. So it's not like he's just bowling line length, but his average now, after just 10 matches, is like 15. It is as good as Mohammad Asif or anyone that Pakistan has had with this amount of games. He's right there.
And it looks very durable also, because he's not this crazy guy who steams in. He has a very flexible ego of actually having a keeper keep up to those wickets rather than steaming in.
He's not a pacer. He's not a fast bowler. He's just purely fast line or length and control. मतलब control उसका इतना ज़बरदस्त है कि it's refreshing to see.
He's a contract C, category C.
हाँ, वो भी देखने वाली बात है कि आपके जो number 1 bowler है, he's now, after the second test match, he's now ranked 3
in ICC.
In ICC rankings. He's gone up. वो जो Dale Steyn की बात है कि he's number 1. after the New Zealand Test series and the South Africa Test series, जो आ रही हैं अभी, and they're full tours, both of them. I mean, he's going to be playing quite a few Test matches. So by the end of that, I wouldn't be surprised if he's number one bowler by then.
Would you mess with him for one day?
That's a good question. When somebody's in form like this, I always have a feeling that you should play your form players who are doing well. They deserve their chance. तो एक जो हमारा mindset होता है कि नहीं यार वो सिर्फ test bowler है. I haven't actually seen him play white ball cricket, so I'm not sure. But given his control and nine length जो कर रहा है, you might as well give him a try, यार.
I don't see any reason why you wouldn't.
Why you wouldn't when he's bowling that well. I think he at least deserves a chance.
हाँ, कुछ 30-35 साल का तो नहीं कि आप उसको कहेंगे यार his body doesn't have enough strength to play in both formats. So I would definitely try him, especially when you're struggling for fast bowlers. By the way, it's not that you have talent coming in from all.
I mean, test bowlers. I mean, like Junaid Khan could be Nikhila. I would have only picked him before Wahab Riaz. I mean, how did Wahab Riaz make the Test squad? Is beyond.
If Amir was bad, then
I mean, in no situation can I drop Mohammed Amir and play Wahab Riaz. I can guarantee you that. अगर मैं selected होता, तो I have no justification. अच्छा किसी और को debutant को try कर लो, किसी नए को try कर लो, किसी को भी try कर लो.
मैं शनमारी को खिला देता उस 2 टेस्ट मैच.
किसी को भी खिलवा लो. But Junaid Khan would have deserved a better chance than Wahab Riaz, यार. If anyone, mind-boggling.
It's. Anyway, I think that this should put an end. And look,
I thought the last Champions Trophy में जो पिटा था इंडिया के
वो खत्म हो गया था.
That was done. That was his career when he was hobbling and went off the pitch. I thought that was done. That was the end of his career. It should be over with. Now they're saying that this should be at the end. So I don't know.
If there was any doubt that he's done, this series proved that.
We've said that before, though.
Yeah, and it's not that he was. I still respect you steaming in, trying to do something, and you going away for runs. He looked flat.
No control, yeah. He's all over the place.
So, मेरे ख्याल से Wahab Riaz, hopefully, and look, he should go and make some money, play for Caribbean T20 League or these things. There are plenty of options available these days. So he's not done, but I think he's done in international arena for Pakistan.
He should be, in my opinion. I still think you still have. Afridi hai, abhi naya hai, Usman hai, Junaid Khan hai, Mohammad Abbas. I mean, you still have quite a few fast bowlers that you would have probably even tried before Wahab Riaz. Wahab Riaz, going back to him was a bit of a... I think because of reverse swing and this and that. He's had one or two good spells, I mean, in his back in his day. But not the Wahab Riaz of today, man. And he hadn't played first class as such. He hasn't done anything in first class. अगर ये होता कि चलो he's been taking 10 wickets in first class in domestic में and he's been taking a bunch of wickets and in hugely in form, none of that yet.
Absolutely.
So it was quite surprising, but
so it's a nice segue into Hafiz then, because two players we thought were done. Wahab Riaz, clearly we all unanimously agree he's done. Hafiz comes back, scores 100. I get excited and I kind of chew on my words. Why did I say that? But then again, nothing.
What you get from Hafiz.
Exactly.
One very good century, and then next 3 innings, shit.
And wasn't that he got unlucky or those were fantastic deliveries? He was like, I've done my part.
He's done. He's apni jagah bana li. He, silences critics with that 1 inning. And back to his usual self. That's the problem I always have had with Hafiz, that when he plays well, he looks good. You want him in the team. But then he's like an Afridi who doesn't show up for like the next, 4 or 5 games. This inconsistency is the bigger issue. And also just the way he was picked also didn't make sense to me. He was the 18th player to be picked for the squad. Your 18th player that you pick makes the first 11. What does that tell you?
That there is a lack of planning or strategy somewhere also.
I mean, how was he not in the 15 or 16 ka squad jo typical hota hai? वैसे 17 ka squad is a bit bigger than usual. 18th player आपने भेजा है and he's opening the batting. the next after a few days.
And you're undoing all your statements, all your actions preceding because
Proceeding, if I would have said, yeah, you should have played Fakhr, he was the opener who went. You saw he played after Imam's injury. He played and did well. And we always thought after, how Fakhr has performed, he deserved at least a chance in the test squad. And he was there, but he didn't play the first test match. The 18th player that you pick,
he played, scored a century, and then he showed you
why he wasn't
why
picked.
he wasn't picked.
Why he wasn't picked.
Why you shouldn't have done that. And if you are going for players who are again who are past their prime, why wouldn't you go for Fawad Alam?
Yeah, exactly. There you
मतलब
go.
all those
फहद आलम वही बात होती है फहद आलम की टॉपिक अपनी शुरू की तो हमारा घंटा एक और निकल जाएगा.
हाँ मतलब नहीं ठीक है. You tell me that we don't want players who've gone past 30 years old or whatever.
Yeah, but again वो T20 में भी वकास मकसूद को pick किया. He's also 30. So वो जो logic
inconsistency जो है मेरी समझ में नहीं आ रही.
The Mickey Arthur was about youngsters, grooming youngsters and this, and that's why if you were beyond 30 it was a highly doubtful that you'd be picked. But then again, you're going back to sort of some questionable selection policies. So, Inzamam's done well to a great extent. He's introduced a lot of new players, as Shadab hai, Fahim hai. So you get credit for a lot of Fakhr hai. He gets credit for a lot of those. But then these are some of the ones that you also question, KR, what is the thought behind it?
Yeah, look, you'll always make a bad decision or series of bad decisions as a selector. No one is saying every single decision you make should be the best one. But I should be able to see the consistency. I should be able to see the pattern. We won't have anyone who is older than this number.
But
then we should not.
But even that, I personally don't agree.
Even I don't.
Play always your best 11.
Exactly.
अगर वो 40 साल का भी है, 50 साल का भी है, if he's scoring 100 every time he goes out to play, he plays, yeah.
Do we care if someone is 45 and scoring 300s in a row?
No,
I don't.
It's pure, it's talent.
And cricket is not MMA or soccer or basketball where you need people to be jumping up and down. It's not physically grueling. It's not that taxing.
अफगानिस्तान का आप विकेट कीपर देखें वो शायद पूरी कीपिंग भी करता है
अपने टोन के साथ
100 भी मार रहा है.
So exactly. So stop pretending कि कोई age बहुत बड़ा matter करती है. I mean, it does, but as long as you have a fitness test, right? Someone who's passing the fitness test should play.
Yeah, but even your fitness जो भी है test है एक वो अलग है. Would you pick a superly talented batsman who scores 100 every other innings but is a bit unfit versus a fit player but he's averaging 25?
Of course, the guy who's scoring hundreds. Right?
There you go.
Yeah.
Like you said, ये कोई UFC या MMA या soccer या NBA का player नहीं है जिसमें आपको grueling stamina और physical fitness चाहिए to an extent. Of course, you have to stand your own, but still, there is a balance.
तरीका ये होता है ना. Ideally, yes, everyone should be able to field, should not leak runs and all those things. होता है कि अगर आपकी 70 की average है और you're a bad fielder, ठीक है, and there is this other guy whose average is 50 and he's a fantastic fielder, so the expectation is he'll save 20-30 runs in the field.
तो बराबर हो जाएगा.
हाँ, मगर अगर आपकी average 70 and other guy is scoring 15 runs per match, then of course there's no comparison.
There's no comparison.
So if you tell me if there's a player who's averaging 40 odd runs and then he's an exceptional fielder, then I'll say okay fine, I see your argument. I don't see that.
So
तो ये जो inconsistency that we खत्म करनी पड़ेगी, I think we'll have to address these inconsistencies and
so I don't know if Hafiz is in the World Cup plan. Is he not part of the World Cup plan? पहले लग रहा था कि he's done. He's not going to be part of the future plans. And Zimbabwe के खिलाफ खेला नहीं, and then he's playing a test match against Australia. One day cricket, which is he's more popular for. वो टेस्ट मैच खेल रहे हैं. आपने शान मसूद को पिक नहीं किया जो आप ग्रूम कर रहे थे, वो नहीं आया खेलने. आप फखर को ले गए. आप क्या कहते हैं, इमाम आ गया. इमाम obviously is doing well, so and Fakhr was doing well. So it's a bit of a.
And Shan Masood averaging 51 and list A.
Shan Masood जो आपको खेल रहा था, अच्छा खासा खेल रहा था. And domestic, he's the top performer in domestic. उसको पिक नहीं किया आपने.
हाँ तो
हालांकि वनडेज में वो पिक था. The format that he's more known for, you picked him for the other format which he's never actually played, and then you sent him back home for the format that actually he's usually plays.
Mind-boggling, yeah.
So there's a bit of a inconsistency. Bilal Asif for me was, I think we should have actually played him much earlier to actually play him to see him, he's also not young. So to see him play so late is also a bit surprising. कि उसने पहले टेस्ट मैचेस नहीं खेले because he had an issue with his bowling action as well. So उसका भी कुछ remodel हुआ है action. But he looked pretty decent.
He still took 6 wickets in the first innings.
So he took 6 wickets.
He bowled well.
And I like the combination of having an off spinner and a leg spinner.
More variety, yeah.
Yeah, like I wouldn't want to play Shadab and Yasir together. I'd still, even though Shadab is pretty good, I'd still pick Bilal and Yasir as a combination rather than if Shadab was fully fit. I'm not sure if I would still want to go with two leggies. I think one off spinner and one leggy is a much better combination.
Shadab can ban a little bit.
But
that tips it in his favor a little bit. I don't know, but he hasn't done much with his batting also. He only has a reputation that he can bat, and he's
नहीं 50 इंग्लैंड में तो अच्छा खेला था ना.
हाँ, नहीं मतलब वही सरबाज तरह ना कि you still have that tag on you. You need to do something to claim that all-rounder spot. Shadab to me is better than Yasir as a batsman, but I can't rely my whole batting strategy on Shadab. He still hasn't scored consistently that much. He did, like in England, but in Asia Cup, again, he struggled. So for me to pick him as an all-rounder, I'm not there yet. But yeah, I mean, I see the point. You have an off-spinner and leg spinner.
It's just a different bowling, na? It just gives you some variety in your bowling attack.
Yeah.
But up T20 की series शुरू होने वाली है. Wednesday is the first game. So that should be, it's obviously T20, so it'll be entertaining.
Yeah.
Fakhar seems to be back in form finally from his Asia Cup, sort of a bit of a low.
Yeah,
he played well in the test matches. He was actually, from seeing Azhar really took. Actually, when I was watching Fakhar and Azhar play, Azhar was actually batting at, 60% strike rate. Because of Fakhar was like, obviously playing really well.
He opens it up for everyone. Even Azhar started playing a bit more, fluently. So I think it is actually refreshing to see him play and reminds me जब सहवाग खेलता था, खुला आराम से. And you need that, yeah.
You need that, and he took over the match. Like second innings, where if they had taken wickets up front, but he in the first hour demoralized Australia completely because he was run a ball, and from there on it was just one way going for sure. But no, good start. So I think he's
still too airy-fairy.
He still doesn't look
like Sehwag would play proper shot or Gilchrist, but this guy still looks like abhi out ho jayega. Which he's still young, so we'll see if he improves on that.
He's not very pleasant to the eye or pleasing to the eye.
And that's hard for a left-hander because usually left-handers are
even classier.
Very good. And look at Haris Sohail. I mean, we forgot to mention his century, but he looked pretty good when he scored runs.
Yeah, he looked pretty good. So I think Test squad is decent. New Zealand will be a good series as well. New Zealand's obviously a much better unit than Australia, and so I think it'll be a tougher series.
It's a fighting bunch, and I think
they've come a long way as well. So, but उनके लिए भी aging conditions tough होंगे, I think. So we'll see how they do. But T20 should be entering 3 T20s हैं. अब Mohammad Amir को फिर pick नहीं किया. So he's still out of
What
favor.
is the deal with him? I haven't read much. Is he been given rest? Or?
No, he's playing first class as far as I remember, but I haven't read or heard about him, how much,
Awfully quiet, right? There's nothing,
So Usman, Shinwari and Afridi, so these guys will bowl.
So I'm okay with him not playing T20s. I wouldn't waste him or Abbas playing T20s, honestly. But it'd be interesting to see if he doesn't get a call for test matches or one-dayers.
But I think they're waiting for him to get back to form in domestic circuits, which he hasn't. So for me, if T20s with the fast bowling, of course Hassan Ali still starts, Afridi and Usman. I think those three are your fast bowlers that play. Waqas Maqsood, another lefty, new to the squad. He's come in, also sort of 30 years old or so. So I don't know too much about him. I saw a couple of his highlights. Boy, lefty, seems seems pretty decent. But again, international level is different to domestic. So we'll see how he does. I doubt he gets a game in, because unless somebody gets injured. Imad Wasim's back after a long break. So I think his last appearance for Pakistan was in the Champions Trophy, which has been a while.
Yeah, I mean, my jury's still out on Imad Wasim. I'm not awfully impressed by his performance in international arena. But
in T20 bowling, he was ranked, quite highly. So he's still, in terms of his bowling, he's known better than his batting is where I think is still questionable.
Yeah.
But he keeps the scoring down, and he's open bowling for a lot of the games. So Imad is back after a long time, after injury and stuff. Unfit tha is last tour ke liye, Asia Cup ke liye bhi. So he's finally made the squad. Baki to sare usual squad. Sarfraz, Asif Ali, Babar is back. Babar Azam missed a century. That was a bit. That was. I really wanted him to score because he looks so good batting. इतना comfortable लगता है वो crease पे जब वो खेल रहा था. And I think 90s का pressure. Obviously, his first maiden 100 he was going for. So there's obviously pressure, and he just missed the very
very soft dismissal.
Very soft dismissal at 99. So quite disappointing. I would have loved to have him because I can see how talented that guy is, and he's got so many hundreds in him. मतलब one day में से कितनी centuries कर चुका है. And test match में तो you should be आराम से scoring. So for him to miss out was a bit of a disappointing one, especially for him, bichara, because I think it would have given him a load of confidence in the test matches, which he's been lacking a little bit.
There are only a few batsmen you really enjoy watching, and he's one of them. I really enjoy the way he bats.
He looks so much in control.
Control, classy, the way he paces his innings. It's just, he's a special talent, and I think he's going to go long. He'll get his 100. If not, I mean, I have zero doubt.
Zero doubt.
But it was sad to see that he couldn't get it in this series. By the way, we've spoken about everything. We haven't spoken about something bizarre that happened. The run out.
Oh, the comical run out.
Oh man, what the hell was that?
I don't know, man. I guess ho jata hai kehte hain.
Yeah, that's once in a century style run out. Man.
That's one time when I knew if Khurram was alive, that subah ke jo hamara WhatsApp ka group tha, it would have gone crazy with Khurram's comments on the run out, which I missed. But that was comical. Matlab unka to reaction bhi nahi tha. They didn't even realize until Tim Payne sort of, took the bails off कि हुआ क्या है हमारे साथ.
He had an extra presence of mind to know that these guys haven't touched or whatever. And Azhar Ali had no clue.
No clue.
He just took it for granted that...
I don't think I've ever seen that kind of dismissal ever.
I think it was first of its kind. I don't think it ever happened before.
It's quite funny.
But that was school cricket.
It was a basic error जो कहते हैं ना.
The umpire hasn't signaled for.
Exactly. आपने मतलब देख रहे हैं यार. It's not like you can't see the ball as well, यार.
It's just I don't know what to say. I can't defend that.
It was just a very, very amateur sort of error, basically.
It was funny, but I was kind of sad. Really, you've played so much cricket, so many matches under your belt for you to miss that.
गप लगा रहे हैं बीच पिच पे यार बॉल तो देख लो कि बाउंड्री क्रॉस की कि नहीं.
आपने एम्पायर का कुछ भी नहीं देखा खैर तो वो एक मजाक है. It was a funny moment.
And Azhar also found the funny side of it afterwards. कह रहा था कि मेरा बेटा जो है अब मेरी मजाक उड़ाया करेगा हमेशा. On this because this will stick for a while.
Yeah, this definitely will. Yeah, that is a YouTube compilation blooper
for a while. आप अज़हर अली को 5 साल बाद भी याद दिला सकते हैं क्या?
कभी. I think इंजमाम में जो था कि best run out और जो थे सारे, I think Azhar Ali is taking
and
over
two
that.
very experienced. मतलब such a freak and Azhar Ali are the two most senior batsmen in the
exactly.
team.
Two most level-headed batsmen that you have right now.
Yeah, exactly. But it was good to see Azhar Ali score as well because he hadn't scored for a while. So उसकी 50 कर ली एक तो he's back in the groove.
But yeah, it's still disappointing though. I mean, 50 for Azhar Ali who just plays one format, who plays really slow. It's not that he takes chances. For him to not, disappointing. Asad Shafiq, I think, is also now on that, in that border
He needs to
area.
break through a little bit more. 50s कर रहा है, but I think वो वाली बात अभी भी वो confidence नहीं देती टीम बैटिंग में जब आपकी confidence होती थी जब मिसबा और यूनुस होते थे वो एक confidence level बैटिंग का अलग था अभी भी ये होता है कि वो confidence build नहीं हुआ if Babar gets a few more hundreds Asad Shafiq gets a bit more consistent. Azhar, I still think will always score for some reason. Although he hadn't scored, I still have faith that he'll come through and it will always be कि एक end रोक के तो रखे रखेगा.
350 तो कर ही लेगा.
हाँ, एक end तो रोक के रखेगा ही. So let's see. I think it's building towards it, but still a way to go.
Okay, so I think we've covered pretty much everything in that series.
Yeah, why don't we talk about
India, King Kohli is back.
King Kohli is man. बंदा 100 से कम तो बात ही नहीं करता यार.
Yeah.
It's just he's a run scoring machine beyond belief. मतलब वापस 140.
It's not even interesting anymore. Like, I actually saw the scorecard of अपने Cricket Info app पे देख रहा था कि West Indies had scored 320 or.
I thought it would be a game.
And then they got the first wicket, early wicket rather.
Yeah.
And then I saw early 1 or 2 wickets, and then I saw Kohli coming in, and deep down I knew that this is it, and that's exactly how it ended. 42 overs के अंदर 8 wickets से you chase down 328. That shows this is ridiculous, man.
He's just too good, man. I mean he's a special talent. I mean we've said it plenty times on our podcast. But he just, continues to dominate and continues to score. And especially chases, man, it's like, not a big deal. And even Rohit Sharma, he went not out, 150 again. Wo bhi banda, matlab,
Yeah.
when he scores big.
3 double hundreds, man.
I mean, it's no joke. Dhawan jaldi out hua, but then both of them scored almost 150 each, and it was done. Chase 326 in 42 overs.
Yeah, it just.
I mean, in 42 overs, they were on track to score about 400.
It looked like West Indies had no business in being in the same situation as them.
I mean, it's like a, class ही अलग है.
मतलब उस सीरीज में उनको होना ही चाहिए था. मतलब they played test matches. They lost by 10 wickets and 278 runs or something. Both of those test matches. Yeah, so West Indies has no business playing India right now. And that's why I like the system of relegation. I like the system relegation. West Indies is right now.
Team ही 10 हैं तो relegate क्या करेंगे?
यार मतलब अफगानिस्तान खैर they played test
हाँ.
matches, but yeah, it's actually you're right.
Relegation
कितनों को relegate करेंगे?
Exactly. That's a different conversation. But Kohli again, of course, brilliant. So I have no doubt that they hands down win all the one-day games. The 5-match series there. So anything more than 5-0 will be like a big shock.
Yeah.
They probably win in their sleep against West Indies.
After this match, I think no matter how well they play West Indians, I don't see them winning anything here. Not even a session of that series.
No, but it's the partnership between Virat and Kohli again. One of the records, 246 runs in a chase. It's impressive. He's now scored 2,200s as a captain, and you know how in about 50 innings, the closest is Ponting 2,200s in 220 innings. Kahan 50? Kahan 220 innings? I mean, he's on crack. I don't know what he's a different level altogether, yeah.
I don't think there will be any record in any batting record in cricket which this guy won't break.
Seriously, he averages now in successful chases 98. I mean, what kind of stats these are? I mean, this is unbelievable. He has 6 more hundreds than Tendulkar in chases. So, I mean, he will, like you said, he will break every single record there is in batting.
And he's nowhere near in his twilight. He's young.
He's in his prime. I think he's just getting better.
Yeah.
वो plateau भी नहीं किया अभी. I think
Abhi
he's
to
just getting
nahi-
better.
Yeah.
So
Him
it's
scoring hundreds is him plateauing or something because he's always done that.
हाँ अब तो आप कहते हैं यार कि 100 नहीं किया तो आपने अगर
क्या?
100 आउट कर दें तो it's probably a moral victory a little bit.
जब मैं विराट कोहली को देखता हूँ स्कोर कार्ड पे and if he's only scored 70 odd runs and got out, I think it was an off day for him. That's how bad. I think he needs to score 200 runs and break Corey Anderson's record of fastest century. And these are the probably.
I don't
only
expect
two.
him to break the fastest century because he's not that kind of player, but
You never know. A.B. de Villiers came out of nowhere.
yeah.
Actually, it was A.B. de Villiers. It is A.B. de Villiers'
is,
fastest century
yeah.
record. Okay, yeah. But yeah,
But-
I mean, there's not much to talk about. It's going to be India.
Yeah, it's one-way traffic.
One-way traffic for sure.
But the other big, I guess, retirement coming up is Rangana Herat, a very sort of underrated player for me.
400 plus wickets. No one talks about him.
Yeah, I was surprised actually. I personally didn't think that he had that many wickets. I knew he was obviously a very good bowler, but 430 wickets.
40 years old, man.
That's quite a lot of wickets. He's number 10, in terms of test wickets.
He's number one left arm bowler, fast bowler, or any kind of bowler with the highest wickets ever in test matches.
And if he just takes 5 wickets, so he's playing his last test match against England. He takes 5 wickets there. He leaps bound Stuart Broad and Richard Hadley and Kapil Dev to become the 7th in the all-time sort of test wickets ranking. So impressive, man. Obviously he's taken quite a few wickets against as well. हमारे भी कई collapses पाकिस्तान के
काफी teams
किए हैं. So yeah, that's an end of an era. So it's like Sangakkara gaya, Javardhan gaya. Now sort of in the bowling department, there was one sort of bowler that Sri Lanka had, especially in test matches. He's also retiring. So Sri Lanka is now going through a tough period with trying to groom youngsters and stuff. They've lost some big players, Sri Lankan players, in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And now Herat is again another one of them where it's end of an era again.
And it's so hard to bounce back. West Indies hasn't bounced back yet. I mean,
For years now. For years.
मतलब अब तो decades हो गए हैं कि maybe late 90s they were dying away, fizzling out Western cricket, and they haven't bounced back yet.
Yeah.
I don't see Sri Lanka bouncing back for a very long time because I don't see any glimmer of hope. There isn't a batsman you look.
West Indies में बस ये कि T20 अगर आप खिला दे तो you still think they have a chance, but besides that
T20 में देखें, because the game is so short, anyone can do anything on a day. It's like
on the day.
So,
they can still.
but I don't see them becoming a force to reckon with in test matches or one day.
For sure.
I don't see any spark anywhere. Although I was reading they have this ambidextrous all-rounder. Mendes is this guy, 20 years old. He's an all-rounder, but he bowls right arm off spin and left arm orthodox.
Okay.
And he does it well. So I'm just excited out of curiosity, like who's this guy who can do it? And then Australia had a player, his name Colin Miller, right? He could do both, a little bit of both, but apparently he's probably the only ambidextrous player I've seen.
But let's see.
talked about.
I mean, England, Sri Lanka test series also starting, so we'll see how that goes. But Sri Lankan cricket again, like you said, is in a bit of a down, so I won't be surprised. But English don't really play well in Asian conditions either, so it might be a good series.
They're playing one days pretty well.
Yeah,
they're winning.
England's one day team is very strong.
Yeah.
Test match is a different ball game.
I'd be very, very shocked if they lose Test match series to
I
Sri
wouldn't be
Lanka.
surprised because Sri Lanka still have pretty good spinners, and in those conditions, the humidity, the hot weather, all of that, everything, all of that plays into a 5-day Test match, and the pitches and stuff. So I think it's still Sri Lanka's home ground, so it may still be a good series. Yeah. You'd be surprised if England loses, especially with this sort of Sri Lanka team.
Yeah.
But not for me.
I think England wins it. That's what I think. Well, let's see.
Till next podcast.
If there's no, till next podcast. There's plenty of other things happening, like T20s maybe. We will cover that. But
Yeah.
if it doesn't rain in Sri Lanka, because every single one day has
Yeah,
been interrupted by rain,
That's true.
then anything else?
Now let's wrap it up. We'll, I guess we'll come back and do a review of how the T20 series went, and also do a preview of Pakistan versus New Zealand.
Yeah.
Until then,
All right, my friends. Until next time.
all right.
Bye.